Welcome to Channel. The arena in Uncasville, Connecticut, was alive well before the players even stepped onto the floor. Fans wearing bright orange and yellow jerseys packed the stands, waving banners, clapping thundersticks, and buzzing with the kind of energy that only comes with late-season basketball, when every game feels like a playoff test. The Connecticut Sun, one of the most consistent teams in the league, were defending their home court, while the Atlanta Dream walked in determined, youthful, and confident that they could shock the building with their pace and three-point shooting. The players emerged from the tunnels with contrasting expressions, Connecticut calm and focused, Atlanta fiery and animated. Alyssa Thomas, the heartbeat of the Sun, walked out with her usual stoic intensity, adjusting her wristbands and surveying the court like a general ready for battle. On the other end, Rhyne Howard, the rising superstar of the Dream, smiled and bounced on her toes, radiating the confidence of someone unafraid of the moment. As the national anthem concluded and the crowd roared in anticipation, the referees signaled for the opening tip. At center court, Brianna Jones lined up for the Sun, her powerful frame squared against Cheyenne Parker of the Dream. The whistle blew. The ball was tossed high into the air, and in a flash, Jones outjumped Parker, tipping the ball back into the hands of Natisha Heedman. The Sun controlled the first possession of the night. The early possession was a microcosm of what makes Connecticut so dangerous. Heedman dribbled across half court with poise, motioning for Thomas to set a high screen. Thomas rolled hard to the rim, drawing the attention of two defenders, and as the defense collapsed, she kicked the ball out to DeWanna Bonner on the wing. Bonner caught, set, and launched. The ball arced beautifully through the air before swishing cleanly through the net. 3 points, Connecticut. The crowd exploded, waving towels and stomping their feet in unison. Atlanta, unfazed, wasted no time responding. Howard brought the ball up slowly, scanning the defense, and then suddenly pulled up from well beyond the arc with her smooth, quick release. The shot sailed high, kissed nothing but net, and silenced the Connecticut crowd for a moment. It was a statement. Howard was here, and she was not going to wait her turn. The pace of the opening minutes was fast, both teams eager to strike early. Thomas, using her physicality, bullied her way into the paint for a tough left-handed finish through contact. On the next possession, Alicia Gray sprinted the length of the court, received a full-court outlet pass from Howard, and laid it in before the Sun defense could set up. The scoreboard ticked back and forth, neither side backing down. What stood out most in these early exchanges was the contrast in styles. Connecticut thrived on half-court execution, screens, cuts, ball movement, and relentless rebounding. Every possession looked deliberate, with Thomas orchestrating like a point forward. Atlanta, on the other hand, played with pace and flair. They thrived in transition, with Howard and Gray pushing the tempo and Parker crashing the glass for second-chance opportunities. Midway through the first quarter, the Sun tried to slow things down and impose their physicality. Jones established deep position on the block, muscling Parker backward. Heedman fed the entry pass, and Jones pivoted hard, finishing with a strong drop-step layup. The Sun bench leapt to their feet, applauding the textbook post move. But almost immediately, Atlanta answered again, Howard weaving through a screen at the top of the key, stepping back, and drilling a mid-range jumper with a hand in her face. The building could feel it already. This was not going to be a one-sided contest. Both teams were locked in, and both superstars were ready to carry the weight of their franchises. As the clock ticked under 5 minutes in the quarter, the defense began to tighten. Connecticut's Jasmine Thomas checked into the game and immediately made her presence felt, poking the ball loose from Gray and diving onto the hardwood to secure possession. The hustle drew a standing ovation from the home fans. Moments later, Bonner punished the Dream again, sinking another three-pointer from the wing, her second of the game. She turned to the bench with a small smile, raising 3 fingers in the air. But Atlanta never let the momentum fully slip. Parker, frustrated by Jones' strength inside, responded with a sequence of her own, first drawing a foul on a spin move in the post, then knocking down both free throws, and then blocking Jones at the other end on the very next possession. The Dream bench erupted, jumping up and down, clapping their hands against the scorer's table as if to say, "We're not going away." With under 3 minutes left in the first quarter, the game was tied at 15 apiece. The energy was palpable. Every dribble felt like it carried weight. Every made shot was met with roars or groans, depending on which team's colors you wore. Howard continued to dazzle in the closing minutes of the quarter. After receiving a high screen, she split two defenders with a quick crossover, accelerated into the lane, and finished with a soft floater over Jones's outstretched arm. On the next trip, she pulled up again from distance, this time a few feet behind the line. The ball splashed through, giving her 10 points already in the opening frame. Connecticut called timeout, needing to regroup. During the huddle, Coach Stephanie White of the Sun drew on her clipboard furiously, urging her players to communicate better on defensive switches. "We know where she's going. Don't give her that space. Make her drive into our help," she barked, pointing toward Howard on the Dream sideline. Alyssa Thomas nodded firmly, her expression unchanged, ready to take on the assignment herself. Out of the timeout, Connecticut settled back into their identity. They slowed the game down, ran their sets, and pounded the ball inside. Thomas backed down her defender, spun baseline, and kicked out to Heedman, who drilled a corner three. On the very next possession, Jones grabbed an offensive rebound amidst three Atlanta defenders and powered it back up for two. Just like that, the Sun were back on top. The final minute of the quarter was chaotic, a glimpse of the drama that would define the entire game. Howard attempted another deep three, but missed short, the ball caroming long into the hands of Bonner. Connecticut pushed, Bonner leading the break, drawing two defenders, and then dropping a pass behind her back to a trailing Thomas, who finished the layup through contact as the horn sounded. The arena erupted, the Sun players pumping their fists in celebration. At the end of the first quarter, the scoreboard read, Connecticut Sun 22, Atlanta Dream 19. But the score was secondary. What mattered more was the message sent by both teams. Connecticut wasn't going to give up their home court easily, and Atlanta wasn't intimidated by anyone. The opening chapter of this battle had been written with fire, grit, and highlight-worthy plays from both sides. The crowd buzzed as the teams headed to their benches. Fans knew they were in for a classic. The second quarter began with both teams searching for control. After a fast and emotional opening frame, the game was still too close to call.